Oh, no, isn't she beautiful? Oh, come on, Francis, come on. Yeah. There we go.
Half an hour. Me too. Yeah. Hey.
So, caterers are leaving. The men upstairs.
Yeah, that's
and that would lessen.
It's Barry Birch.
This will upon grace, and then stay upstairs.
Yes. I'm watching you get pinned.
So that's my property.
Certainly on Canadian ships, when a ship is commissioned, they put the name of the youngest child of the ship's company on the bell.
Oh, is that right?
And when the ship is decommissioned, it goes to that child.
Oh, you take it?
Sometimes.
She makes big money now, you know, she doesn't talk to poor people like that. Oh yeah, her dog is with us. Yeah, right. Nope, you take care of these guys first, that's okay, thank you. Sorry, I can't. We're gonna have a Did you not get your new pen with you?
The 75 you're on. Al Danielson had his on.
Yeah.
No, by tomorrow.
Ours now you turn a key and then all the armored customers and the army perpetuates that.
Is it HD?
HDMI.
Yeah, HD.
With your back against the wall, it's the only way to be.
There's a window there.
Yeah.
Window for snipers.
Matthew gets Mac. There's actually quite a few. Oh, there we go. It depends on the bus they can suit the shop.
How did you come across it?
Whilst upstanding, I call on Brother Rob Danielson, worshipful Brother Rob Danielson for grace.
Brethren and honored guests, it is our 100th centenary. It is a time to thank the great architect of the universe for the friends we've had in the past, the bounty we've had in the past, the friends we have now, the bounty we have now, and the friends we have yet to come, and His grace yet to come. Let us bless this food to our use. So mote it be.
So mote it be. And brethren and ladies, whilst upstanding, we are tight this evening, so I'm going to try and limit the ups and downs. Worshipful Master, Mason, brethren and guests, to Her Majesty the Queen.
To Her Majesty the Queen and the craft.
Please be seated.
Lewis. Indeed, this is an honor for me. When I was asked to, as part of the committee planning our centenary year, we sat down and we wanted to make an appropriate gift to the regiment. I am third generation to serve. My daughter, who I'm proud to say, is a member of this regiment, is fourth generation to serve. I have spent many hours here during different functions, from Remembrance Day ceremonies on many different years, and I've been here for change of command ceremonies. This regiment goes back to 1883. It's the oldest regiment in British Columbia with a long history. When we decided what we want to do for this regiment, we present them an appropriate gift. I contacted an artisan in Fort Beach, Saskatchewan. Her name is Bonnie Saunders. The first gift she made of this was to Chief of Defense Staff Hillier when he retired in 2006. So if the brother and the Duke of Connaught could please join me, we'll open these up. Being appropriate to all the members of the regiment, we've got 3 gifts. They're all the same, and we hope you will please display these in your messes. What we have here is a ceremonial plate made by the artist Bonnie Saunders with the Duke of Connaught's own crest. It says here, July 2nd, 1912 to July 2nd, 2012. Presented to the British Columbia Regiment, the Duke of Connaught's own, in appreciation on the occasion of our centenary year from the Duke of Connaught, Masonic Lodge, number 64. The significance of this plate is all their battle honors they have, much like under Guidon, which is displayed in the officers' mess. It's the Guidon displays all the battle honors. On here, it goes back from the Boer War all the way through to France, Passchendaele, and it's the same crest that they probably wear on their berets. They display here in the regiment. Sergeant Taylor, for Senior Excellence. Brother, the Duke of Connaught Lodge, will you please be upstanding with me, presenting a toast to our hopes, the British Columbia Regiment, Duke of Connaught's home. Up the Dukes.
Up the Dukes!
We want everybody that husbands that have served in this regiment. I've met people that have served in the Canadian Forces. I never knew, in fact, we had a member of this regiment. We had a father who was a member of this lodge. And it strikes me that we are very connected in some ways. And of course, the Duke of Connaught connects us as well. There was a time in the Canadian military where this is a reserve unit, by the way, and the Canadian Army started as a reserve or a militia. There was no full-time Army when the Army first started. They were all volunteers, and in many cases they paraded and worked for free. Today we are paid when we work. But back in the day, even to do some of their training, they needed a patron because the government didn't fund them adequately, and the Duke of Connaught was a patron of this regiment. Was attached to it for that particular reason. And you'll see other names in the Canadian Forces, Princeton Patricia, Infantry, Fort Strathcona, again, patrons of the regiment. So that's the connection. For the service, again, we're volunteers here, so we all have a civilian actually. And we've started in the regiment, and for whatever reason that brought us here, many of us have stayed. I've actually, serving the actually in the ranks of us, and happy trooper for many years. Worked my way up to Master as the Connaught RSM is, and now I've transitioned into the mess next door. So you're currently sitting in the sergeant's mess, the sergeant and warrant officer's mess, and the reception was in the officer's mess. The ranks are downstairs. So that's a bit of the history for it. Again, it's our distinct pleasure to have you here. The reserve is also the Army's connection to the community, because again, we are members of the community. It's really been a pleasure to have you here, and what a most fitting way to commemorate your 100th anniversary in this building, which actually is 111 years old. So we've been here continuously since that time. Yeah, thank you very much.
Brethren, ladies, yes, the hour is waning, and I'll try to be very, very brief. But I'm speaking on behalf of the visitors. I just wanted to say, can you hear me now, Bill? That's why I have my back here, so hopefully I'll project better and not be by having my back to me. I just wanted to say what a great honor it was for me and Anastasia to be able to participate in this very, very commemorative event, the centennial celebration of the Duke of Connaught Lodge. And over the years, as you know, I've had the great privilege to participate in a number of Duke of Connaught functions, and it's something I'll never forget. But I think something needs to be said, and Major Bentley, you touched on a very important point about the amazing factor of connections. We all have these connections in a very remote way, perhaps, myself included. The Bush Brother Colson Clark, you talked about when Duke of Connaught Lodge was constituted, and you were saying why these people did this. Well, if you look upon the character of Duke of Connaught Lodge, as I've experienced over the last 35 years, you're people of great pride and your great integrity. And obviously that's been instilled through the military connection of Duke of Connaught and the British Columbia Regiment. Men of great character, great pride, that in 1917 were one of the major participants in making this country recognized as a nation. So that's filtered down through your lodge. And I think that says a lot. It might help explain why the type of men that founded Duke of Connaught Lodge have the type of character and integrity that they epitomized. And so, my own remote connection, and I spoke to Major Bentley about this earlier, is that some of you may be wondering why I'm wearing these. Well, I don't get a chance to wear them very often, but on this auspicious occasion tonight, I said I'm going to wear these. I'm going to wear these medals because when I was in Alberta, I was with a group of people that were great believers in a period of Canadian history that was not taught in Canadian schools, and it was about the 1885 Northwest Rebellion. But we wanted to portray the peaceful coexistence of that event, not to reenact battles. And so we went into the public school system and we introduced this period of Canadian history. Now, the original regiment that we portrayed was the 92nd Winnipeg Light Infantry, which was also a militia unit, a group of volunteers that were dispatched from Winnipeg to come quash the rebellion, as it were, in 1885 in Alberta, which was then the territory. So we're also a Queen Victoria regiment. So again, another connection in a remote way. And so the parent regiment under which we received our dispensation is now today known as the Royal Winnipeg Rifles. And I believe the Commander-in-Chief is still the Duke of Kent, if I'm not mistaken. But so while we were on this trip in 1985, which is the centennial of the Northwest Rebellion, I said to the group of fellows that I was with, and our actual Colonel-in-Chief, our honorary Colonel-in-Chief, was a colonel from the Canadian Army Dental Corps in Cyprus. He resides in Fort Macleod, and he's also past master of his lodge in Fort Macleod. So again, there was a Masonic connection to somebody that I had never met before in a military sense. And so I wrote this diary, and Winnipeg found out, the regiment found out about Winnipeg, and said, oh, you have to send a copy down. So immediately I had to do an abridged version to not be quite so literal. And I received permission to issue that diary to the 150 participants of our trek in 1885, retracing the steps of the Alberta Field Force at that time. And the amazing thing was that after my diary was published and issued to all those participants, 6 months later, I accidentally, I think it was destiny, came across a diary that was found in a trunk here in 1939 in an attic by a Private Williams, who was the original participant and member of the original 92nd Winnipeg Light Infantry. So we have my diary of 1985 and his diary of 1885. And that was also published by the regiment in Winnipeg. So I'm really proud, and I have connections to this armory. When several years ago, a group of us, history buffs, we formed a group called the BC Small Arms Historic Society, and the regiment was gracious enough, kind enough, to let us use the sergeant's mess on Sunday afternoons for our meetings. I met some wonderful people in here, the likes of Smokey Smith, the likes of Stocky Ebers, who was an RCF Canadian flying ace in North Africa, and several great military people. And so, also brothers. Many of these people were brothers, Sonic brothers. So it's about connections, wonderful connections. And so I'm just so thankful to be participating in this event this evening and to meet great men of the BC Regiment. Thank you very much.
Surprise presentation. My thanks to Brother Bill Irwin for initiating this. I actually have a letter from the Mayor of North Vancouver. I'll just read it out. This is what he requested. Dear Worshipful Master, officers and members, I would like to thank the North Vancouver Duke of Connaught Lodge for extending an invitation to me to attend this milestone event in celebration of your 100th anniversary. While I am unable to attend due to a prior commitment, I appreciate the opportunity to express congratulations and thanks to your membership of these many years of service to our community. Duke of Connaught Lodge has a long history in the city of North Vancouver, being located in the 102-year-old heritage building at 1142 Lonsdale Avenue. In particular, there is a connection in that a founding member of your lodge, William J. Irwin, was also a former mayor and alderman of the city. In 1914, Mayor Irwin stated that our city has unsurpassed residential, industrial, and commercial possibilities, and he was correct. The city has been fortunate, very fortunate, to have the Duke of Connaught Lodge in our community, as it has contributed much over the years to improve the lives of others. Encouraging the personal development of members and your values of friendship, morality, and brotherly love are truly admirable. A variety of services offered by the Freemasons locally, such as the provision of volunteer drivers and vehicles for cancer patients to get to their appointments, are much needed and appreciated charitable projects. It is this kind of exemplary dedication and community-mindedness that contributes to the well-being of others and the city as a whole. Once again, congratulations on this 100-year milestone for your lodge. Yours sincerely, Darryl Musato, Mayor of North Vancouver. It gives me great pleasure to contribute to you, to pass to you, Worshipful Master, a plaque. Congratulations, Duke of Connaught Lodge 100th anniversary, May 5th, 2012.
Cyprus, Ireland, and he was a regimental sergeant major. This is the quietest sergeant major I've ever met. Right Worshipful Brother John Rankin, District Deputy Grand Master of District 17. The floor is yours to close here.
Brother Skinner, thank you very much for that fine toast.
to Grand Lodge. Father Toastmaster, to the regiment, to the ladies, and the brethren of District 17. This doesn't happen often. 100 years that the lodge turns for their regular anniversary. And as you know, Worship Grand Master Bill Cave's thing object this year is being a builder. But when you take a look at back in history, this is what being a builder is all about. Being around friends, having dinner together, having a few laughs, sharing a few jokes. It's all important, and that's what your Grand Master this evening is probably making his way from Golden to Connaught, and I'm sure that he missed a great opportunity, but unfortunately his itinerary compared to his choices, and unfortunately able to be here. But on behalf of himself and myself, it's been truly an honor to be a part of this fine, auspicious occasion. Thank you very much.
The final toast of the evening. I'm going to call upon in a second. At the Dukes, we always sing Auld Lang Syne to finish the evening. This room is too tight, but I think it's necessary that we sing Auld Lang Syne. I'd like everybody to perhaps move into next
and drink a toast to the poor and distressed Freemasons,
wherever dispersed over the face of the earth and water, a speedy relief to their necessities, and a safe return to their native land, should they so desire. Some ought to be to all poor and disturbed Freemasons.